Okay, so you can see something here on my desktop, right? I have a folder called LinkedIn Helper Profiles, and when you make a new one, it'll set up outside of it, like on your desktop. So I just drag it into there. So it's like, now I've got my to-do list. Basically, I got to run each one of these all the way through. That's you, so I don't run that one, and a couple of these are already done. But you can see they all have their own little icon, right? And that's because, so let's say I'm going to go ahead and set up a new client. So when I'm in here with here's my profile, right? I'm person one. This is my normal Google one. Down here, you have add. So that's what you have to do. And you kind of have to remember, looking at all the different icons, which ones you've already used. So I go into add, and I'm pretty sure I haven't used the penguin yet. So, whoops, let's try and bring that back here. Ah, brother. Okay. So let's do the penguin, and I'm going to say Charles. Penguin Charles. And Charles, penguin, add. Okay. Then what happens is, let me bring it over here. Okay, it kind of resets everything up here. So all of your normal tools go away. So what you have to do is go to where that one LinkedIn helper thing is, right? So you go in here, and then you go to more tools, and you go to extensions. It brings you here. You go into developer mode, turn that on. Go to load unpacked. I have mine in my downloads, and it's under this build cloud. So if I need to send that to you again, I can, or whatever, but I think you have it already. So select folder. That puts this in here, and it's turned on, so now you're good to go. So go back here. Then I'd go to the link to LinkedIn. Okay, and now go to sign in. And then you'll have to create this, so it's ready to get notice. The password is capital RHE//5624, send. Okay, then if you were saying like this is the one you're choosing, right? Now we kind of, I think you can use this one and this one. I'll use the bottom and these two, and then you'll use those two if you need to use two. If not, I'll keep using that one and these two, and you'll just use the third one, 55. But if that's going to be yours, right, always click that and then say okay. So for me, I'll just go like this and say okay. It always tells you this, and just say yes. Okay, so again, same kind of thing here. It's the bottom one for me. That one would be you. Attach through current installation. Say okay, close, close. Okay, so it's all good. I don't really need to worry about that. But I do need to go and get his login, right? So normally I'll hurry and go to hopefully he hasn't changed this. Nice thing is it'll remember it usually. You can see he's an IT guy. Look at that password. Judas. Okay. Okay, excellent. So confirm. Okay, so now normally this will keep him in. So even if I close this, right, it'll remember what you put in. So let's say you go here. If you're gonna pull people, obviously, you know, go to where, hopefully if they have Sales Navigator, you can go in and, you know, go to a saved list so you can import it that way. But if we'll just say technology or security, people, you know, second level, third level, Austin, Okay. So obviously go in and do recruiters, the whole deal. While you've got it here, then you go into collect and select and invite second and third. So you do this. If you already know how to do it, you can just do this so it doesn't keep showing up again, close it. But now I'd go in here and create a new list. So Charles, I'd just say like biz for my business, for if I'm going to do the business ones. And while I'm here, I might as well create a new one. Charles, recruiter. And also while I'm here, Charles, I do this with every client now, Steve. Charles, HR people, create. Now I got all three. Now, interestingly, if say we were going to do the reach out like we do with their first level connections, right? So you're going to send the message for him to all of his past first level recruiters. Then what you're going to do is go here, like let me just do this. So say those were all recruiters, right? You'd go to message to first connections. Okay, this you gotta set up a whole new thing. So create new, Charles, first recruiters, create, and then you could be like, Charles, first, biz, create. Okay, so now I go back to recruiters. Let's say that was the recruiters, right? Now I would say right here, message to connections, collect. If I hit that, all of those people will go in. They become the recipients. You can tell the client, hey, go in and put this in so that they get the exact same results. And then say, go through it all and send me an email that tells me who you don't want me to send that message to. And so they'll send it to you, and you'll go in and edit the list. You can take the 13 people out or whatever, and then you'll send off the messages to their first level people if they want to do that. I try to have every client now do their first level quote unquote export. That I tell them, don't do that. Just do it all in LinkedIn now. Don't do the export in the spreadsheet because it's a total waste of time. When you have the ability to narrow your first level people down to your geographical area, right? All of that. Most clients don't. They have 7,000 first level connections. Well, 700 of them are in Dallas where they really want to target. So it's much easier to have them kind of go in and say, okay, Steve, go in, type in this and this, first level, Austin, so on and so forth, recruiters. Okay, there's the list. Pull them in, and then they tell you the 13 not to send the message to. Then you send out. Okay, now go in, same info, but put in CEO, president, Okay, send this message out to those people minus these. That's how you'll go ahead and do that. So hopefully that's enough to kind of help you. In terms of the message, you'll go in here, you click here, right? And don't worry about this because we're not using that. But this is where you type in the message, and you know how all that works. And then you can preview it, save it, and close it. It'll remember all this. So, for example, let's say I'm done. I close that out, right? So now watch. Here's my desktop. There's Charles. I'm going to drag Charles down into my profiles like that. Now here I am. Okay, so here's Charles. So I just woke up. Here I am. Here's my start of the day activity that I need to do for him. I just opened up his profile. I don't know if you saw me do that. I double clicked his name again. So I just start that, hit that. So he should already be logged in. Just click on this. Okay, you can go right here to, collect and select in second level. That takes you right to this interface here. And so whichever one you want to do, you click on this. It'll show 433 people already collected. You can click here. It'll show the message that you're sending to those people. Then you go here, and where you'd say start profiles inviting. Normally, I come down here, change that to like 50, or if I'm doing 3 different campaigns, right, I might say something like 25. And I always do timeout settings to be um, reset fast. So I have it reset like that, and I usually put that at like 50 seconds and then save it. Okay, so 25 on each one of them, and within 24 hours. So it'll show so many people in the for business. You'll go, yep, that's the right message. Back to invite, and then you'll be like, boom, move this up. It has to be up the whole time. So I always just put it on my other screen, and then I shrink it down to be about like that, and then I just load. I just pretend like that, right? You can have multiple people going at the same time. Just stack them next to each other. Get that 25 going. As soon as that's done, I drop down from the business people to the recruiter one. Start that campaign. Send out 25 there, then 25 there. If I have some first level people for them to do, I need to switch over to that. Remember, so I've got to go from there to my message to first level. That's where these lists show up there. That can be confusing. If you're like, where did that go? You have to go into that interface to see the list that you pulled for them. So hopefully that makes sense and that's helpful. And let me know if there's other elements of it that you need.